Hello, fellow seekers and collectors. I'm the Cinema Seeker. I'm mad. If you thought the Resident Evil video was an angry one, just wait until it's something I'm really passionate about. Oh boy, then you'll see how angry I can get. So, I'm perusing Twitter, like you do, just sludging through that hellscape, just seeing all the takes, this is, we got a new, couple for the new Multiverse of Madness movie. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's cool. I'm looking forward to the movie. I have my reservations. Phase 4, and all that. Soaking in the Moon Knight discourse. Of course, we got all the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard stuff. Of course, usual cringe on the timeline. You know how that goes. And then I see some fuck shit on my timeline where apparently, I am. Let me set the stage for you. I am not currently reading the new Spider Man run. I have been interested in reading it because I figured it's a new run. It's a new thing. It's gonna be tying in with the 60th anniversary. That all that and everything. The beyond amazing thing. I just technically kind of talked a little bit about the whole 60th anniversary. With the with the Marvel Legends reveals. I was real excited about that. That got me pumped up. I'm ready for the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man. We've been doing pretty good as Spider-Man fans. We actually have been. We had Spider-Man No Way Home. We got some new figures. We're gonna get an animated series soon. I mean, we're going pretty good. And then we got some new comics. And then Marvel had to fuck all that up now, as I am seeing now that apparently in a recent panel of a recent comic that came out, yeah, Mary Jane and Peter Parker are no more. Again. Again. They have broken them up again. Ah! Why? Why does Marvel hate Spider Man? It's like they absolutely despise their flagship character and can never have them fucking happy. This is now the second fucking time they have broken up Mary Jane and Peter. They did it with the infamous piece of shit that was One More Day, and now they've done it again. Now, I know some people are going to say it is very early in the run. You haven't read the comic. I haven't read the comic. That's the thing I am going to see. But I am not coming at this as someone who has read the comic. I am coming from the perspective of somebody who has not read the current series, who has not read a Spider-Man comic in a while, who hasn't been really reading current comic books as of late, but wants to get back in. Just this alone would not make me want to read it. I was very interested in reading the new series, but now because of this shit, I am pretty much now no longer fucking interested. The only way I would think about reading it is if I could either talk about it on my channel, or the story goes in a completely different direction and it changes. That's the only way, and that's something that I will say. I will bear in mind that yes, there is a good chance that this could be retconned, changed, or maybe even something else. It could be a fucking Mysterio illusion, like the way Nick Spencer made the whole erased sins past and made it no longer that, oh yeah, Gwen Stacy cheated on Peter. That, no, it was just a Mysterio illusion, all to fuck with Norman Osborn and to fuck with Mary Jane and to fuck with Peter. So, it's all that was undone, thankfully. So there's a good chance that this could be that kind of situation. Maybe. I don't know. But now with this shit, it completely makes me not want to read it. I just, why is Marvel so damn determined to keep Mary Jane and Peter apart? when they know that the fan base, the core Spider-Man fan base, love Mary Jane and Peter Parker together, or at least a version of MJ, as evidenced by the current MJ. Yes, there's some people who are not a big fan of Zendaya or her version, but still they still want to see some form of MJ, or at least we're kind of devastated, or like, oh, that sucks to see that they're no longer together. And I know some people may say, why is it okay that No Way Home did it, but the comics are doing it? The difference is No Way Home is acting as the beginning of a new origin story. It was essentially a 3 movie long origin story that now is going to be cultivating into now the Spider-Man that we think of from the comics, just with some extra little twist. I'm pretty sure now we're going to be getting the whole I gotta keep my identity secret from MJ, I gotta protect her, and even seeing what it's like for somebody who has dated this person but now has to keep separate from her because of how dangerous his lifestyle can be. That's going to be interesting. It's a new story. It is going to be telling a new story, whereas this is an adult Peter who has already been through high school, has already gone through all these different stuff, who's supposed to be in a mature story that focuses him on as an adult, continuing what Spider-Man is about, and that is the idea of relatable human issues affecting a superhero. One of those issues being marriage, or, being with somebody that you love, something that affects a superhero. You'd think that because this is the thing that makes Spider-Man so unique and so popular, is that idea of relatability would be kept. But no, Marvel has to say, fuck you, you don't get it. You don't have to have Mary Jane. We gotta keep them dating because supposedly that makes him boring. When most Spider-Man fans pretty much agree, they love seeing Mary Jane together. They love seeing them acting as a couple. Because many of us, myself included, grew up with the Raimi trilogy. We grew up with Peter and Mary Jane as a couple. So for many Spider-Man fans, they are going to prefer seeing Mary Jane and Peter Parker together. They're not gonna be too interested with the whole like, oh well, I gotta date Liz Allen, gotta get through Gwen Stacy. Like there's some that are fascinated, but the end game for his relationship now for many Spider-Man fans, like myself, is Mary Jane and Peter. And again, you can't even say like, oh well, now with the TASM films, Gwen Stacy can be more accepted, because now Gwen Stacy isn't really thought of as the girlfriend of Peter Parker. She's thought of more as Spider Gwen, thanks to Into the Spider-Verse and the Spider Gwen comics. So most people associate now Gwen Stacy with those specific comics and that specific character. The only time it has that association is because of the Andrew Garfield films, but those only have 2 of them, and they're pretty much not the main focus, as now the MCU is the current status quo and the zeitgeist of Spider-Man that has their own version of MJ. So even the current new films have MJ and Peter in some form and are going to continue it, as it has already been confirmed there's going to be 3 more movies made for MCU Spider-Man, which I guarantee is going to feature MJ again. So again, even your current movies are doing this zeitgeist, and the only reason why No Way Home pretty much got rid of the relationship or undid it was because they wanted to then tell the Spider-Man stories the way they are, because he's still a teenager, because he's still in those classic 1960s-esque comics where he's a teenager going into college. So it makes sense. Whereas now it is undoing an entire comic run done by Nick Spencer, because Nick Spencer did his damnedest to keep Peter and MJ, because he knew Spider-Man fans wanted to see them together, and did everything they could. And from what I've even heard, apparently this last couple of issues, or the last run before taking over in the new one, apparently now they were supposed to move in, but then now it's just completely undone. It's just completely undone. And this is after also apparently a bunch of other fuck shit with Ben Riley going from a partner of Spider-Man to then a villain again, like they did in the Clone Conspiracy, and now becoming there is no longer Ben Riley, there is only Chasm, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like they hate us. It's like they just actively choose every single decision that people would hate. They can't stand the idea of somebody being like, oh, you know what? I want to read this. I want to read that. I really want to get into comic books. They're so desperate to get people into comic books, yet they keep undoing a bunch of shit that the fans want or what the fans have been begging for. Hey, could you maybe not make Ben Riley a villain? Can't do that. Could you maybe have Peter and MJ? Fuck you! How dare you ask us to do that? I can't believe it. Oh my god. And I understand right now it is apparently from what I've heard, it's a mystery box right now. Great, good to see that type of storytelling hasn't died with the sequel trilogy. That's fucking incredible. Oh, great. I truly do love mystery boxes. I love, being told a bunch of stuff that probably is either going to get contradicted or just completely not even useful in the end. I'm really happy that's back. Yeah, that really makes me want to continue reading comic books. I needed to rant about this. This is, again, I did it with the Resident Evil one, and I'm doing this video because I am a huge Spider-Man fan. I mean, I don't know if I proved it, with the last video or maybe even a couple of the other videos, but Spider-Man is my favorite fictional character of all time. He, ever since I have grown up with him, I have loved this character, and I still love this character to this day. No Way Home, despite all its faults, is one of my comfort movies. Now, it is absolutely fantastic, and I still hold it as good. I love, love, love this movie. I love Into the Spider-Verse because it is a celebration of Spider-Man. So to see this being done again after so many fans have flat out said we want Peter and MJ together, and to see Marvel flat out just saying no, we can't have that, and still trying to double down on One More Day fucking pisses me off. And it honestly just makes me not want to read Spider-Man comics anymore until they fix this shit. And trust me, keep me updated on my Twitter, on my social media, anywhere I am. Keep me updated. Let me know in my comments or any one of my videos. I don't even care if it's not Spider-Man related. Let me know if this changes. Now, granted, I may find out myself, but still, it'll always be good to know, that maybe it changed. Maybe now they're finally together, or maybe this is one big ploy to get rid of One More Day. Who knows? Who knows? A hopeless fool like myself would love to know that that's the whole story, that's the whole reason, is that we're gonna see, like Peter go down in the dumps, and then it's like, ah ha ha ha, Spider-Man, I got rid of your, marriage, I'm Mephisto, and then it's like, oh, big battle and everything, it's like, you give me back my wife and everything, and then everything gets resetted and the status quo is set back. Peter and MJ are together, and Nick Spencer's run wasn't for nothing, or at least, us fans can finally have a victory on that front. We win on everything else, but when it comes to MJ and Peter, we get fucked in the ass for that. I I hate it. I honestly hate it, and it pisses me off because, like I said, fans have been wanting them together. Look at Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, how much people loved that story. They loved seeing Peter and MJ together. They loved seeing them have a kid together. They wanted to see them be in a family together because, like I said, because the problem is they're trying to appeal to a younger Spider-Man fan base. The problem is that younger fan base isn't really reading comic books. When was the last time you saw a kid really reading a comic book? If anything, I think they're reading more manga or watching more anime. So most of the people who read comic books are adults. Like myself, who are growing up, who have already grown up, who are starting to, do other things. In some cases, I'm in my 20s still, but there's people who are in their 20s or around my age who are getting married. So, if anything, seeing Spider Man continue that, or again, be relatable, would help readers. Because again, we don't want to see Spider Man regress, we want to see him progress. Why do you think Spider Man PS4 literally gets so much praise? One of the biggest aspects that is praised is the fact that he's no longer a teenager in this story. And yeah, Mary Jane and Peter are not really together in that one, but they even imply that they're gonna get back together.
Editor Seeker here. I want to apologize for the audio on this one. For some reason, while I was recording this video, the audio for the microphone, it started kind of like freezing, and because of that, it ended up essentially like removing certain sentences that I had. But I filmed also the audio on my camera that I was filming, so that's the audio that you're hearing. So for this portion of this video, when it goes back to the microphone, that's when the audio went back to normal. So just letting you know.
You know, Spider Verse shows that there's hope for Peter. Even No Way Home, in one line of dialogue, even flat out says that, yeah, there's a good chance that, Peter and MJ actually made it out. Again, he said the line, it's complicated, but, we made it work. I mean, again, even in No Way Home, they gave a little fan service and said, yeah, Mary Jane and Peter, they're fine. And yet here the comics, fuck you. You wanted Peter and Mary Jane. How dare you ask me for that? Oh my god, I'm tired, man. I'm fucking exhausted of this shit. Nick Spencer's run, even though I didn't read all of it, it was still just cool to see him actually trying to undo One More Day in some form. And maybe this is some big, long form, like, big fucking 100 brain level, planning that, that Marvel has been having for, quite a few years. Because there's been a lot of, like, weird One More Day jokes or anything. Like, even in the Spider-Man slash Deadpool comics, they kept like showing like Mephisto or anything or referencing it. So I don't know, maybe this is some big long form like erasure of One More Day, but I don't know. If that's the case, cool, then maybe we will have Peter and MJ, and maybe this rant will be hashtag poorly aged. But until then, fuck this comic. Fuck this new series. That's it. I'm fucking done. I don't want to read this shit. I was interested in it, but now, fuck you. I'm not gonna read it. Not until this shit either gets undone or maybe it's revealed that what we thought isn't what it is. If that's it, then fine. Okay, then cool. Then we'll look back on and say, remember when we got angry? Our anger was misplaced. We didn't know. Kind of deal. Sometimes that happens. But I can't expect it to, because Marvel has proven that they don't like Peter and Mary Jane together, despite the fan base literally begging them and saying, hey, could we please maybe get Mary Jane and Peter Parker back together? Please? Please? Oh, fuck this, man. Like, and I wonder why fucking comic books are losing to manga. You see all these fucking TFM, like, oh, it's the woke agenda, it's the, all that and everything. Honestly, it's because they don't give the fucking fans what they want. Honestly. They give them an inch, and then they just completely say, fuck you, for the rest, kind of deal. We got the old She-Hulk design back, we got some of the other stuff, for comics and everything, but here, nah. No. Can't do that. That's going too far. Fucking hell, man. This shit is just... This shit just fucking pisses me off, honestly. I think this is the angriest I have been, really, since the Resident Evil video. And even then, that was just me being fucking disappointed, just me being exhausted with the current state of video game to movie adaptations. This is just the current state of fucking Spider-Man in the comic books that we have been suffering for quite a few years. I mean, we already had to deal with some of the bullshit on Dan Slott's whole run and everything, had some high moments, had some really fucking low moments, had some, there were some low moments I remember from Nick Spencer's run. I remember hearing from some, but I would honestly say there was more highs. At least Nick Spencer had the good decency of undoing Sin's past, of undoing that piece of shit storyline. But no, but the one that people hate the most can't undo it because for some reason somebody at Marvel hates Peter Parker and Mary Jane being together or just inherently wants Peter to suffer. I don't know. I understand some meme in the Spider-Man community of the whole, like, oh, Peter Parker must suffer and everything, but fuck, not like this. God damn it. Oh, shit, man. This is infuriating, honestly. And we were just, it was going good. It was going good, with the whole, like, we got those new Marvel Legends, we got new stuff coming on. They confirmed, Spider-Man Marvel Legends for next year. Even Hot Toys announced that they're going to be making their high-end figures, for No Way Home and everything. It's 60th anniversary, man. Beyond amazing. This is no longer beyond amazing. With this comic, this is beyond fucking frustrating. Ah, fuck, man. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if I was a little angry on this one, but I needed to fucking vent, man. This shit is just, it's infuriating because, like I said, from the perspective of somebody who has stopped reading comics but wants to get back into it, this does not make me want to continue reading. If anything, this reaffirms why I stopped fucking reading in the first place. Because I started getting bored. The only ones that really were, like, kind of, good were Spider-Man and the Spider-Man slash Deadpool comics and Deadpool and a few others, but, just for personal reasons I won't disclose, I had to. But even when I could get back into, I just fucking couldn't. I thought, why? I kind of felt like I was getting bored already. I figured I could just read the trade paperbacks. So for this one, it's like, if you're trying to get me to, run out to the, fucking comic book store to pick up the next issue of Amazing Spider-Man, yeah, this way ain't gonna be doing it, my guy. You can't do it like this. You have to actually do something that will appeal to people coming in. Because if anything, this doesn't appeal people to see, oh, I wonder what happened. Why is it that Mary Jane now has kids with another guy, kind of deal? Or even if they are their kids, I don't know, they could be his kids and she's just, a stepmother kind of deal. I don't know. I haven't read it and I don't have any gumption to. Because now it's like, with that, it's like, what are you going to do? If you erase it, then you have to go through a minefield of, yeah, those kids now no longer exist, and everything. You've written yourself into a corner now. The only way is if, again, it's like, oh, hey, they're not actually, they're her kids or anything. And even then, if they get back together or the guy dies and they get back together, then Peter's gonna have to be raising another dude's kids. Oh, wow. Congratulations, Marvel! You cucked Spider-Man again! You undid Sin's past, and then you just decided, we cucked him with, Gwen Stacy once. Let's do it with Mary Jane, because Spider-Man hasn't suffered enough. Who's writing these comics? Green Goblin? Is this just, is this secretly Norman Osborn has possessed somebody in real life, and just, Spider-Man, I have now ruined your relationship in books now. Oh my god. Ugh. My brain, it hurts. The cringe. Oh, man, just... and earlier today I was saying, as Spider-Man, Batman, and Venom fans, we're eating good. This year, we've been eating good. And now with this is the bump in the road. This is now the asterisk when it comes to Spider-Man fans. It's like, Spider-Man fans, we're eating good, so long as you remove the comic books. Every other place, we're doing pretty good on, because even the animated series, we're supposed to be getting that MCU, what is it, freshman year or something like that? Like, we're supposed to be getting that. I hope it's good. But, man, yeah, it's just, Marvel, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, this is not how you get new comic book readers. Jesus Christ. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, man. Fuck. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time. Hopefully in a more cheery video. I hope. Although I might be planning on updating on the Ezra Miller stuff, so I guess it ain't gonna get any better. But I should at least I'll try to see if I can at least, maybe after that do another positive video, or maybe I don't know, maybe you guys like this kind of stuff, but I hope you guys at least can relate. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think this is a bad idea? Do you agree with this? I wonder. Let me know in the comments or on Twitter or on my social media. Please let me know, because God help me, I hope I'm not the only one, because I've seen some people angry, but I hope in my community too, like what little that I have of it, I hope I'm not the only one who's pissed off about this, because fuck this. This is shit. I hate it. I hate it. Thanks, Marvel. I hate it. Bye, guys.